सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। So the student has reached the teacher, approached the teacher duly with the correct attitude of surrender, and finding that the teacher is in a pleasant mood, the student communicates his state and what exactly he wants. Okay, when I say he, please understand it can be she also. I am just using one of the genders. Okay, it can be anyone. First he prostrates. He says, Swamin namaste nataloka bandho, karunya sindho. O Lord, O Guru, I prostrate unto you, who is a nataloka bandhu, who is a dear friend of the people who surrender. Karunya sindho is the ocean of compassion. And what is my state? Patitam bhavabdo. I am, drowning in this ocean of samsara. Your ocean of compassion, I am in the ocean of samsara. Maam uddhara. Please save me. Please uplift me. How? Atmiya kataksha drishtya. With your side glance, which is rijvya, which is very effortless, natural. Atikarunya sudhabhivrashtya. And it is like a shower of nectar of extreme compassion. So, oh Guru, please just look at me with that compassion and save me from this samsara. Don't delay. Why? Durvara samsara davagni taptam. I am caught up in this forest fire of samsara. Dodhuyamanam duradrishtavati. I have been tossed upon here and there because of these winds which are also increasing the fire. What is that winds? The winds are of my own papas that I have performed in many, many births. Bhitam. I am extremely afraid. Prapannam. I am surrendering unto you. Paripahi mrityoho. Please save me from this death. Please save me from this samsara. Sharanyamanyad yadaham na jane. Because I do not know any other place where I can surrender. Therefore, O Guru, please save me. And it is not that something different I am asking from you. Why? Because it is a nature of the Mahatmas. Shantaha, Mahantaha, Nivasanti Santaha. The noble people, the Mahatmas, Shantaha, extremely calm and peaceful. Vasantavalloka hitam charantaha. They roam about like the spring. Spring season, when it comes, it doesn't actually do anything, but the entire environment changes. Everything changes. Everything gets new inspiration. Everything gets new positivity, and everything changes for good. Like that, these Mahatmas, when they roam, the whole thing just becomes so beautiful and so inspiring. And what is the speciality? Speciality is Tirna Swayam Bhima Bhavaranavam. They themselves have crossed over this great ocean of samsara, janan, anyan, tarayantah, ahetuna. But then they come back again to save all the other people, to help them cross over this ocean of samsara also. Why? Ahetuna, for no cause. Causeless compassion is the nature of the Guru, nature of the Mahatmas. That's how Mahatmas are. Ayam swabhava swata eva. This is their nature. What is that? Yat parashrama apanoda pravanam Mahatmanam. For Mahatmas, pravanam, they are extremely capable, skilled to remove the difficulties of others. This is swata eva swabhava. This is their own nature. It's not that that is the acquired quality. No, it is nature. Just like sweetness is nature of sugar, like that this is the nature of Mahatmas, that they cannot see other people, other beings suffering. Sudham Shuresha, very beautiful example, another metaphor given here. Sudham Shuresha Swayamarka Karkasha Prabhabhitaptam Avatikshatim Kila. The whole day when the summer sun is scorching the earth, evening, night time, the moon automatically cools it down. It's not that it has to purposely do something. Sudhamshu, moon. Eshaha, this moon, Swayam, by itself, Arka Karkasha Prabhabhi Taptam Avati. Kshitim Avati. Protects, it saves that Kshiti. Kshiti means earth. How? By its cooling rays. Automatically, that is its nature. Those who study Sanskrit literature, etc., there are different kinds of alankaras. Have you heard alankara? Alankara literally means ornaments. Abhushana, alankara. So, there are different kinds of ornaments for the poetry also. I am sure in your local languages also, such alankaras, etc. are there. In Marathi, they are there. You know, lots of alankaras. There are Shabda alankara, Artha alankara, different, you know, the usage of words and in what meaning the words are used. That creates a beauty to the poetry that is called as alankara. If you really see here, plenty of alankaras you can find. I'll just give you example. This 38th verse, read the last line. Sudham Shuresha Swayamarka Karkasha Prabhabhi Taptam Avatikshitim Kila. If you read it, you see the letters are duplicated, used twice. Sudham Shuresha Shasha Swayamarka Karkasha Arka Karkasha Arka is repeated. Prabhabhi Bhabha Tapta Tata Avatikshiti Titi. So, if you see, this is one kind of alankar. It is not, you see, you can't really explain the beauty that it brings. There are many words in Sanskrit which can be used for a particular object, but Shankaracharya is using that particular word which fits in that beautiful poetry, and it brings more ornamentation to that. So, those who like all these poetry, literature, etc., can even study these verses for that. But remember, these verses are not meant for that. It is just by the way that they are bringing. In English, it is called as figure of speech, correct? But it doesn't exactly communicate, because in English, figure of speech is mostly with respect to the meaning that it brings out. In Sanskrit, hundreds of alankaras are there. Hundreds of alankaras, right? So, you can see that also. And then we saw one more beautiful masterpiece of poetry. Brahmananda rasanubhuti kalitaihi putai sushitaihi ryutaihi yushmat vakkalashodjitaihi shruti sukhaihi vakyamritai sechaya Santaptam bhavata padavadahana jwalabhirenam prabho Dhanyaste bhavadi kshana kshanagate patri krita svikrita. Beautiful verse. What is said here? He says that Sechaya, oh Guru, O Lord, please shower me. Shower me with what? Vakyamritaihi sechaya. Now here is the request which is coming. See, so far the student has been telling that just look at me. That is sufficient. He now says that please teach me. Vakyamritaihi sechaya. Why? Because your upadesha, your teaching is like the nectar, which is coming from Yushmadvak Kalasha Ujjitaihi, is coming from the beautiful mouth of yours, which is like that Kalasha. Shruti Sukhaihi, which is dipped in the Shruti, in the Veda, in the Vedas, in the Vedanta Upanishad. Sushitair Yutaihi, it is endowed with that coolness. Putaihi, not just outside, but it is purifying to my inner personality also. And it is coming from where? Brahmananda Rasanubhuti Kalitaihi. It is coming from your own experience of that Supreme Brahman. With those statements which are like nectar, sechaya. Why? Santaptam, because I am being burnt. Bhavatapa dava dahana jwalabhihi. Because I am being burnt by these flames of the forest fire. What is the flames of the forest fire? Bhavatapa. The sorrows of the samsara are the flames. Samsara is the forest fire. The flames are of tapa, the sorrows of this samsara. So please shower me with this nectarine words of yours. Why? Dhanyaha, te dhanyaha, those people are indeed blessed. Bhavad ikshana kshanagatehe patrikritaha, who have become eligible to receive your side glance for a moment. You have looked at them for a moment. They also are dhanyaha, blessed people. Why are they blessed? Swikritaha, because they have accepted that side glance as nothing but grace. So, O Bhagavan, please, with your words, with your teaching, please save me from this samsara. That is the request. What do you want to know? What you want the teacher to tell? Teacher to answer, Katham tareyam bhava sindhu metam. Verse number 40 also we have seen last time. How am I to cross over this bhava sindhu, this ocean of samsara? Kava gatir me. What should be my state, or what will be my state? Katamaha asti upayaha. What will be the solution? What is the solution? What is the way? Jane na kinchit. I don't know anything. This is also very important, you know. Hey, if you think that you know everything already, then the teacher will say, very good. Then I will just tell you, go there, study Tattva Bodha, then after that study Atma Bodha, then you go the Drigdrishya Viveka, then go to Upanishads, study Bhagavad Gita and you will know the answer. No. Jane na kinchit. I don't know anything. So please you yourself teach me. Kripaya avamam prabho. Oh Lord, please protect me. Samsara dukkha kshatim atanushva. Atanushva, please bring about. Bring about what? Kshati. Kshati means destruction. Destruction of what? Samsara dukkha. Destruction of the sorrows of this samsara. Please bring this about. How will it come? It will come by the knowledge that I will gain. How will I gain that knowledge? When you teach me. So by your teaching, I will gain, by your grace, I will gain that knowledge by which the samsara will be destroyed. Please give me that knowledge. This way, Guru Upasadana, the step of Guru Upasadana is being explained by Shankaracharya. How the student has approached and conveyed to his teacher what is his state. Now what? Now the teacher has to speak. So before the teacher speaks, the author is telling the story, isn't it? That the student has approached and asked. Now he only is saying 2 verses and then Guru Ruvacha. Let us see. Verse number 41. Please repeat. Tatha vadantam sharanaagatam swam. Samsara davanalata pataptam. निरीक्षकारुण्यरसार्द्रदृष्ट्या दद्यादभीतिं सहसा महात्मा तथा वदन्तं शरणागतं स्वं संसारदावानलतापतप्तं निरीक्षकारुण्यरसार्द्रदृष्ट्या दद्यादभीतिं सहसा महात्मा. The author says, Tatha Vadantam. Tatha Vadantam, to that person who was speaking like this. Tatha, like this. Vadantam, one who was speaking. Sharanagatam Swam, considering oneself to be surrendered. To that person. How, what was his state? Samsara, Dava, Anala, Tapa, Taptam. See, such a beautiful language, Samskriti. Start from the last word, Taptam. Taptam means who is being scorched. Scorched by what? Tapa, heat. Scorched by the heat. Heat of what? Anala. Anala, fire. What fire? Dava Anala. Forest fire. Dava, forest. What is this forest fire? Samsara. So, samsara, dava, anala, tapa, taptam, one word. This whole thing is one word. Means what? To that person who is scorched by the heat of the forest fire of samsara, who is considering himself to be surrendered, sharanagatam swam, tatha vadantam, who has spoken thus, to that person, to the student, what is now Mahatma. Last word of the verse. Mahatma is the subject of the sentence. Mahatma, that great saint, that guru. Niriksha, first word of the second line. Niriksha. Mahatma tatha vadantam swam sharanagatam samsaradavaanalatapataptam, in bracket shishyam, niriksha. Niriksha, niriksha means seeing, observing, looking at him. You remember? The student had said, please look at me. Even with corner of your eyes, you don't even turn your face. Just look at me from that corner. So, niriksha, Shankaracharya is confirming, yes, the teacher did look at the student. Niriksha. Niriksha with what? Karunya rasardra drishtya niriksha. Drishtya. Drishtya means with the eyes, with the sight. Ardra. Ardra means moist. The eyes are moist. Moist not because of sorrow. Like, not like that. Not the way we cry. Ardrata here, the moistness is because of what? Karunya rasa. Is because of the compassion. So, the teacher looks at the student with that compassion. Karunya rasardra drishtya niriksha. And then what? Sahasa, immediately. Sahasa, immediately. Abhitim dadyat. And dadyat. Dadyat can mean, dadyat means may give, should give, will give. These all meanings are possible for dadyat. See, in Sanskrit, verbs are of two types. One type of verbs are according to the tense, the past tense, present tense, future tense. And another types of verbs are according to the mood. Those who study grammar, etc., will know lot lakara, vidhiling lakara, ashirling lakara, etc. These are according to the mood. So it brings all these meanings, that the Mahatma may give or should give or will give. What? Abhitim. Abhitim, fearlessness. abhitim dadyat. So when the student is approaching thus, surrendering, explaining that I am being scorched in this heat of forest fire of samsara, when I am suffering and please save me, when the student is surrendering, what should the teacher do or what will the teacher do? See, should is not an appropriate verb here, because you cannot tell what the teacher should do. Actually, it is more like what the teacher will do. Would do anyways, he will do that. What he will do? Niriksha, first of all, he will look at that student, rasard, karunya rasardha drishtya, with lot of compassion, and then abhitim dadyat, and then will give fearlessness. This section is called as Abhaya Pradana. Abhaya Pradana means offering forgiveness or offering protection. When the Guru will start speaking, you will know what kind of protection he is offering. Okay? But this is a very well known in our tradition, that the Sharanagati, surrender, always is followed by this Abhaya Pradana. There is a famous episode from Ramayana. I am sure all of us know that episode. The episode is just before the war. Ravana's brother, Vibhishana, who is sent out by Ravana, thrown out of his country, comes and surrenders unto Sri Rama. So when Vibhishana appears suddenly in that tent, in that entire camp that the Vanaras are having, and Sri Rama and Lakshmana are also there, then before Vibhishana is brought to Sri Rama, there is a small conference, urgent meeting is going on, where Bhagavan Sri Rama is asking everybody what should be done now. Because councils, they are all ministers, Sugriva is there, Jambavan is there, and Hanumanji is there, and Lakshmana also is there, Nala, Neela are there, Angad, everybody is there. And situation has come that Ravana's brother, Vibhishana, has come and he is saying that I want to meet Sri Rama. And he is not come with any what we say, desire of fight or anything. So what should be done? So everybody is giving counsel, because Sri Rama is asking. See, that is the greatness of Bhagavan. He is also asking everybody. He can do whatever he wants, nobody can question, but still he asks everybody. Sugriva, what do you feel? Sugriva says, Bhagavan, I am not sure. These Rakshasas are very Mayavi, they have different kinds of magical powers. So don't believe in them very easily. Jambavan says, I have heard that he is a very good person, but I am not sure. I have heard, because he is an experienced person, I have heard. Lakshmana says, why are we discussing? I will go and cut his head and bring. Why? Unnecessarily, you people, too much of discussion only. Action you don't do. That is what I feel. After listening to everybody, Bhagavan Sri Rama turns to Hanumanji and says that, what do you think? Hanumanji has met Vibhishana before. When he went to search Sita, he has met. He doesn't say anything what Sri Rama should do, because he is a sevak. He says, I am not capable of giving you counsel, but let me tell you one thing. O Bhagavan, he is your bhakta. He is your devotee. Now you know what is to be done. I am not going to tell you what you should do. I don't find myself capable of that suggestion. But I will just tell you, he is your devotee. And that is where this beautiful verse is there from Valmiki Ramayana. Says, Bhagavan Sri Rama says, Sakradeva prapannaya tavasmiti yachate abhayam sarvabhutebhya dadami etat vratam mama. Very, very, very beautiful verse. Sharanagati, when it happens, what is the reply from the God, from the Guru? He says, Sakradeva, even once, prapannaya tava asmiti chayachate, one who surrenders and says once, what? Tava asmi, O Lord, I am yours. Iti chayachate, one who does this, to such a person, abhayam sarvabhutebhya dadami, I give protection, fearlessness to that person from all beings. Sarva bhutebhya. Sarva bhutebhya means what? Even if any one of you want to harm that person who is surrendered unto me, I will not let you. Etat vratam mama, Bhagavan says. This is my vrata. See, we have heard devotees doing vratas to gain Bhagavan. Isn't it? Bhagavan is telling, this is my vrata. See? Sharanagati when happens, next, immediately what follows? Abhaya Pradana is what follows. That is what is happening here also now. And you will see not just Bhagavan Sri Rama here, you will see in Sri Krishna's life also. In Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says very strongly that Arjuna, I am just not telling you, you take a microphone and announce to the entire world. Kaunteya pratijanihi. Pratijanihi means announce to the world. Name bhaktah pranashyati. My devotee shall never perish. So, devotee's job, student's job is what? To surrender. Then the protection comes from the Lord, from the Guru. Automatically that happens. Now, that which is automatic, that's what is mentioned here by Bhagavan Shankaracharya. He says, Mahatma abhitim dadyat. Immediately he gives his protection, fearlessness to that student. Don't worry, I am there. Don't worry. Okay. So, that's what happens. Sahasa also is interesting word. Immediately. Not that, okay, I have listened to you, now go and take some rest and come back. No. Sahasa, immediately. The teacher understands the urgency that the student is showing. There is also interesting point if you see. Karunya rasardha drishtya niriksha. He looks, the teacher looks at the student with compassionate eyes. Why? See, one reason is because he is ocean of compassion. So, the only look possible for the teacher is that of compassion only. We have seen in the life stories of many Mahatmas that even towards those who are harming the Mahatmas have compassion. There is a very famous, interesting anecdote that one Mahatma was on the seashore, and there are two types of scorpions, if you know. One are land scorpions and another ones which stay in the water. So, one land scorpion was drowning in the water. So, the Mahatma was trying to pick it up and keep. But the moment he will try to pick up, the scorpion will bite. So, Mahatma has to leave, because then he will again try to pick it up. Then again he will bite. And again he will try to pick it. Again he will bite. The person who was observing all these things, and he said, what are you doing? Why are you doing? You are trying to save a person who is biting you. Why? Just leave it. Many times we also say the same thing. Or I did so much for you and you are, going against me. Now next time I will not do anything for you. That's what we do. But the Mahatma gave a very beautiful reply. Mahatma said, see, biting is the nature of scorpion. If the scorpion is not giving up his nature, why should I give up my nature? My nature is that of compassion. It wants to bite, let it bite. I still want to save, I will try to save. Karunya rasardha drishtya niriksha. This is one reason. Second reason also is because the teacher is actually, see, tears come to our eyes for many reasons. One, of course, is because of karuna. Sorrow, etc., we are not talking about. Another also is because of pride. Pride? Not that pride, ahankara. You feel proud of the student. What correct question he has asked? He is not asking about some temporary solution. He wants to know Brahma Vidya and has come and agreed that I don't know anything, please teach me. That feeling of proud also brings tears to the eyes of the teacher. Karunya rasardrishtya niriksha sahasa abhitim dadyat. The teacher gives abhiti, fearlessness, grants fearlessness to this student. And then what? Again, the author still continues. What is he saying? Verse number 42. Please repeat. Vidvan satasma upasatti miyushe. Vidvan satasma upasatti miyushe. Mumukshave sadhu yathokta karine. प्रशांत चित्ताय शमान्विताय तत्वोपदेशं कृपयैव कुर्यात्. विद्वान् सतस्मा उपसत्ति मीयुषे मुमुक्षवे साधु यथोक्तकारिणे प्रशान्तचित्ताय शमान्विताय तत्वोपदेशं कृपयैव कुर्यात्. कृपया एव, out of sheer compassion, tattvopadesham kuryat. The teacher should give the tattvopadesha, give the teaching of that supreme reality. Who should do? Vidwan. Vidwan here is the subject of the sentence, first word which is indicating that Guru. So, Vidwan, Saha Vidwan, Vidwan Sa is there, no? Next, that is actually Saha. Saha Vidwan, that great, knowledgeable, wise person, the Guru. Tasmai, that Tasma is actually Tasmai. Because of the Sandhi rules, Tasmai Upasattim. Next word is U. Therefore, Tasmai becomes Tasmaya. And that Ya is dropped. Lopa Shakalya, so it becomes Tasma. Tasma Upasattim Yushe means Tasmai. Tasmai means for him. To him. To him, to that student. Who is that student? Upasattim Iyushe. One who has come to surrender. Upasatti. Upasatti means Upasadana. Who has approached the teacher and surrendered. Upasattim Iyushe. To him. So you will see everything is now in fourth case. Tasmai, Iyushe, Mumukshave, Yatokta Karine, Prashanta Chittaya, Shamanvitaya. All these are adjectives for that student. The student, to that student who has approached and surrendered. Mumukshave, to the student who is Mumukshu. Mumukshu. Vedji, this word I have heard somewhere. Where I have heard, let me just think. Shankaracharya ji took lot of pain to explain to us all the sadhana chatushtaya. In that one of it, the last one was mumukshutva. Remember? Something like that's what I was thinking, that this word, mumukshave, to the person who is desirous of liberation. Mumukshave, sadhu yathokta karine, who is a noble person, and yatha ukta karine, very beautiful adjective. Yatha ukta karine, one who does what is told. Yatha ukta, as told. Karine, one who does. Means what? The teacher tells you to do something, you do something else. That is not called a shishya. Oh, student should be, how? Should be the one who does what the teacher tells. Veji, does that mean that we have to be blind in receiving the orders? Yes. Yes. Guru says jump in the well, jump in the well. How can I? Do you think that Guru will tell you to jump in the well? If it is not important and necessary? No. Guru will not give you any instruction which is not good for you. And therefore, any instruction that the Guru gives, follow it. Don't bring your thoughts, your ideas and your decision in between. No, but what I thought, Guru told me, but what I thought, don't bring. Yathokta karine. Does what is told to such student. Prashanta chittaya. Now who is of absolutely calm mind. Calm mind. Just now he was telling Durvara samsara dava agni taptam. Calm. Not at that moment. In general, the mind is calm. Means what? Is ready to receive the knowledge. When the class starts, mind is not going here and there. Today is Sunday and today is last Sunday of November, then this should, I have not filed income tax return. During Vivek Chudamani class only you think of income tax return. Oh Swamiji, thank God. Actually, I did not remember. But because now you have told me, thank you. So today, what did Vedji teach? Vedji told income tax return should be filed. Very good. The moment we sit for class, the moment we sit for any kind of knowledge transaction, our mind becomes restless. Goes this, that. Every nonsense of the world we will start to think of. Then the knowledge will not be received properly. Prashanta chittaya means what? Is able to control the mind and calm the mind when required. Now is not the time to think about anything of the world. Now is my time, very important time with my Guru. Very important time of studying the scriptures. Prashanta chittaya. And how is his mind prashanta? Prashanta. Shanta means calm. Prakarshena shanta. Absolutely calm. How? Shamanvitaya. Anvitaya, one who is endowed with. Endowed with what? Shama. Shamadhi Shat Sampatti. Shamanvitaya, endowed with Shamadama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. The six-fold inner wealth that is being spoken of. So, Mumukshu, he is also Mumukshu. He has also got Shamadhi Shat Sampatti. Obviously, Prashanta Chittaya means he has got Vairagya. And for Vairagya to be there, Viveka has to be there. Means what? To such a student who is Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna, Adhikari. To such an eligible student who is Yathokta Karine, who is ready to do what is told, Vidwan Saha, that great Mahatma, that Guru, Kripaya eva, out of sheer compassion, Tattvopadesham Kuryat. Should give, means what? Would give. Would give what? Tattvopadesham. Tattva Upadesham. Tattvasya Upadesha. Tattvopadesha. Tam Tattvopadesham. Upadesha, teaching. Tattva, of that reality. Tattva bodha, that reality. So, to such a person, to such a student who has surrendered and who is eligible, the teacher should give now the knowledge of that reality, should give Brahma Vidya. Why? Because he wants to get rid of samsara. The only way to do that is by Brahma Vidya. Therefore, teacher would give Brahma Vidya to this student. This is how now Shankaracharya ji as author brings it together. He is connecting that now the student has approached, and what would the teacher do? This is what the teacher will do. Now carefully if you see brilliance of Shankaracharya ji, we will be able to appreciate when we see the small things that he is doing. In the last verse, Mahatma word was used for that Guru. And in this word, Vidwan word is used. So, Mahatma and Vidwan actually are indicating two things. Mahatma indicates what? That he is Brahmanishtha. Mahan Atma Yasya, one whose Atma has become one with the entire world, is Brahmanishtha and also compassionate. Mahatma is the word that is used for Mahatmas. They are Mahatmas means they are great souls. They are compassionate people. And therefore, Mahatma word is used for Guru because that particular verse was talking about looking at the student with compassion and giving fearlessness. Now here, the word used is Vidwan. Vidwan means what? One who is well versed in the scriptures, Shrotriya. Why Shrotriya? Because Shankaracharya is saying that the teacher, the Guru, would give the knowledge to the student. To give the knowledge, he should have the knowledge. He has the knowledge. That is indicated by the word Vidwan. See, in small things also, Shankaracharya has paid attention. It's not random that he has used those words. Mahatma Karunya rasartha drishtya niriksha sahasa abhitim dadyat. And here he says, Saha Vidwan, that same Mahatma who is also Vidwan, tasmai, to that student, tattvopadesham kuryat, would give now the knowledge of that reality. Right? How does it start? How does the Guru starts now? Swamin Namaste Nataloka Bandho was how the student started. Now how the Guru is starting, verse number 43. Please repeat. Ma bhaishta vidvan tavanastyapayah. Samsara sindhostaranestupayah. Yenaiva yata yatayosya param. Tameva margam tava nirdishami. Ma bhaishta vidvanstavanastapayah. Samsara sindhostaranestupayah. Yenaiva yata yatayosya param. Tameva margam tava nirdishami. Beautiful. The Guru says, Ma bhaishta vidvan. Hey Vidwan, oh student, oh wise person. Huh? Wise? Already has knowledge. Arey, wise means what? One who has come to correct understanding that there is nothing that I will gain by getting different things of the world, and to end samsara I must have self-knowledge. This knowledge the student has got, that itself makes the student wise. Hey Vidwan, oh wise person, Ma bhaishta. Ma bhaishta, don't be frightened. Don't be worried. See, first thing that Guru says is, Ma bhaishta Vidwan. Don't worry. Why? Abhaya Pradhana section is going on. First, you have to console the student saying that don't worry, everything will be fine. Ma bhaishta Vidwan. Tava na asti apayah. You are not going to suffer. Tava apayah nasti. There is going to be no trouble for you. Ma bhaishta. Don't worry. Why? Samsara sindhoho tarane. To cross over tarane. Samsara sindhu. To cross over the ocean of samsara. Asti upayah. There is a way. Upayah asti, there is a solution. In crossing over the ocean of samsara, there is a way, there is a solution. And therefore, tava apaya nasti, you won't suffer. Ma bhaishta, don't worry. Don't be frightened. Okay? So there is a way. Good. One doubt. What doubt? Am I guinea pig? Coronavirus has come, and just now I think I have got vaccination, but let me test on you. If it works, I will tell everybody. Am I that kind of guinea pig? Are you going to test this way or this solution on me? No. Yena eva yataha yatayah asya param. Yena eva, by this alone, by this way alone, by this solution alone, asya param yataha yatayah. Yatayah means great seekers. Great seekers in the past, yena eva, by this path alone, asya param yataha, have gone, asya param, across this means have gone and crossed this samsara, this ocean of samsara, by the same road. Tameva margam, that path alone, tava nirdishami, I will show to you. See how beautiful. He is telling first, don't be afraid. Ma bhishta vidvan. Tava nastya apayah. You are not in trouble. You don't worry. Samsara sindhoha tarane asti upayah. There is a way, there is a solution to cross over this ocean of samsara, and I am not testing this solution on you. This is a time-tested path. Many seekers in the past, in the present also, have gone through the same path and have reached the other shore of samsara. Tameva margam, that path alone, tava nirdishami, I shall show it for you. See? Beautiful. Now, many things are said here. Number one, we may think, see, who is a student here? We all are students. The teacher is talking to whom? Teacher is talking to all of us. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Arjunam nimitti kritya. Shri Krishna is talking to all of us, considering Arjuna as a nimitta. He has kept Arjuna in front, but he is talking to all of us. Similarly here, that student represented by Shankaracharya ji in the author, in the book is a representative of all of us. Actually, the Guru, Shankaracharya ji himself is the Guru, isn't it? Jagat Guru is Guru of all of us. He is telling us, Ma bhishta, don't be afraid. Why? You are not going to suffer. Why? Because there is a way to cross the ocean of samsara. Now, we may have our own thoughts in mind, but Swamiji, I started very late spirituality, when I was young, I did not look at it, and now I am old, and now I feel, why I should have started in the beginning only, and what a fool I am. I don't think about all that now. Don't worry. Guru says, don't worry. Why are we worrying? Guru says, don't worry. Nothing wrong will happen to you. Tava apayah nasti. Why? There is a way. And it is not a new way. In our tradition, parampara is of most importance. We have seen earlier also how much Shankaracharya is also sticking to the parampara and says that it is not individual's knowledge that is important. It is the knowledge which has come in parampara that is great. Even Bhagavan Shri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita sticks to the parampara, quotes from the Upanishads. Why? To show that it is the same knowledge I am giving. I am not telling you that I have come up with a new solution to get rid of samsara. New solution is, this novelty in solution is not a guna in Vedanta. Guna means greatness. A great quality is what? That it is the same thing that is said in the Upanishad. It is the same thing that is said in the Bhagavad Gita. I am just presenting it to you in the way you will be able to take it. The same thing. Yenaiva yata yatayah asya param. Following the same path, yatayah, great seekers, have crossed this samsara. Tameva margam tava nirdishami. That path alone, I will show it to you. There is also something that is hinted here. What is hinted? Guru says, Tameva margam tava nirdishami. Nirdesha is to show, pointing out. So, I will point out to you that same path by which many seekers have gone across the samsara. I will point to you that path, but what? You have to walk. He is not saying, I will take you across. He says, Tameva margam tava nirdishami. I will point out, you will have to walk. Means what? It is not that after you surrender to the teacher, you say, now my job is done. Okay, now let me sleep. Why? Because Guru has said, Ma bhishta vidwan tava nasti apaya. So nothing will happen to me. Let me relax. No. Guru is there to protect. Guru is there to guide. But walking we have to do. Again, this topic will be taken after the questions are asked by the student. That time we will see. Shankaracharya will use many examples also to say that how self-effort is very much important in this path of spirituality. Here also the Guru is hinting that I am going to point you that path, walking which many seekers in the past have gone across the samsara. Many even now are walking that path. So you are not a guinea pig. I am not doing any kind of experimentation on you. It's a well-trodden path. It's a time-tested method. That is what I am going to give you. Right? So don't worry. Abhaya Pradana. Then what? The Guru continues. Next verse. Please repeat. Astyupayo mahan kaschit.
Astyupayo mahan kaschit.
Samsara bhayanashanah.
Samsara bhayanashanah.
Tena tirtva bhavam bodhim.
Tena tirtva bhavam bodhim.
Paramanandamapsyasi.
Paramanandamapsyasi.
Astyupayo mahan kaschit. Samsara bhayanashanah. Tena tirtva bhavam bodhim. Paramanandamapsyasi. Asti upayah. There is a way. Mahan upaya asti. There is a great way. Not ordinary way. There is a great way. For what? Samsara bhaya nashanah. For the destruction, nasha, of bhaya, of fear of samsara. You are afraid, no? You said you are afraid. You are afraid that you are caught up in this ocean of samsara. What is samsara? The cycle of birth and death. The realm of transmigration. Gurudev would translate samsara word as that. The realm of transmigration. Transmigration means you keep on migrating from this birth to next birth, to the next birth, to the next birth. This entire cycle of samsara is fear. You are afraid of it, but its destruction is possible. There is a great way for the destruction of the fear of this samsara. Samsara bhayanashanah kaschit mahanupayah asti. There is a great way for that. Tena tirtva bhavam bodhim. Tena, by that path, by that upaya, by that way, by that solution, bhavam bodhim tirtva. Bhava ambodhim. Same only. Ambodhi also means ocean. Ambu means water. Ambodhim means lots of water. That is ocean. Ambodhim. Bhava ambodhim, the ocean of samsara. Tirtva. Having crossed over the ocean of samsara. Paramanandam apsyasi. Apsyasi, you will gain, you will attain. Future tense. Apsyasi. Future tense. Paramanandam apsyasi. You will gain Paramananda. Paramananda, permanent bliss. Param is short form for permanent. Paramananda, permanent bliss you will get. Isn't it for which you started this path? Isn't it the universal goal of all the people? That you want to be happy, not just for some time, but full happy all the time. How is that possible? By crossing over samsara. How can I cross over? Astyupayo mahan kaschit. There is a great way by which you will cross over the ocean of samsara and attain that supreme bliss. Paramanandam apsyasi. There is a way, don't worry. Okay, now Swamiji, I am starting to get little irritated. Why? The teacher is not telling. He is just telling there is a way, there is a way, there is a way, don't worry, there is a way. But what is the way? Next verse, teacher gives the way in short. And in that next verse, he gives little elaborate also. Let us read verse number 45. Vedantartha vicharena.
Vedantartha vicharena.
Jayate jnanamuttamam. Tenatyantika samsara दुःखनाशो भवत्यनु.
दुःखनाशो भवत्यनु.
वेदान्तार्थविचारेण जायते ज्ञानमुत्तमं तेनात्यन्तिकसंसारदुःखनाशो भवत्यनु. Now he gives the path. What is that Mahan path? Great way by which I can cross over the samsara and attain supreme bliss. What is that? Vedanta Artha Vicharena. Vicharena, by inquiry, by thinking on what? Artha. Artha, meaning. Meaning of what? Vedanta. Vedanta, the essential teaching of the Upanishads. Vedanta Artha Vicharena. By inquiring into the essential teaching of the Upanishads, by vichara, by reflecting on the essential teaching of the Upanishads. And when you say Vedanta, Upanishads is just a upalakshana for all the other texts of Vedanta also. Isn't it? Vedanto nama Upanishad pramanam tad anusareni shariraka sutrani cha tad upakareni shariraka sutrani cha. And all the other texts which speak of Vedanta, by reflecting on the meaning or the essential teaching of Vedanta, jayate jnanam uttamam. Uttamam jnanam jayate. The best knowledge is born. By reflecting or inquiring into the essence of Vedanta, the best knowledge is born. What is that best knowledge? That is the self-knowledge. Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, that I am that Adhyatma Vidya among all the Vidyas. Among all the Vidyas, the best knowledge is what? Adhyatma Vidya. Sa Vidya ya Vimuktaye. That is the real knowledge which brings liberation. Ya Vimuktaye, which becomes the cause for liberation. That is the correct knowledge. That is the greatest knowledge. Raja Vidya is said in Bhagavad Gita. Raja Vidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. 9th chapter, Bhagavan says it is Raja Vidya. Vidyanam Raja. It's the king of all knowledge. What is that? That is the self-knowledge. So, by reflecting on the essential teaching of Vedanta, Uttamam Jnanam Jayate, the self-knowledge will be born. Tena, by that self-knowledge, Atyantika Samsara Dukkhanashaha Bhavati. Anu. Bhavati Anu. Bhavatyanu is there, no? Anu means Paschat. Anu means Paschat. Paschat means the moment you get the self-knowledge, then what happens? Atyantika Samsara Dukkha Nasha Bhavati. Bhavati means happens. What happens? Nasha, destruction. Destruction of what? Dukkha, sorrow. Sorrow of what? Samsara. Atyantika means total destruction. So, by Vedantartha Vichara, by reflecting on the essential teaching of Vedanta, self-knowledge is born. By that self-knowledge, what happens? Total destruction of sorrows of samsara will happen. So, inquiry leads to self-knowledge. Self-knowledge leads to what? Leads to liberation. Liberation, moksha. Why? Because that is the definition of moksha. What is the definition of moksha? Atyantika dukkha nivritti paramananda praptischa moksha. In Vedanta, when we talk of liberation, we are not talking about reaching some loka, Vaikuntha loka, Kailasa loka. That is not called as mukti in Vedanta. In Vedanta, mukti is what? Atyantika dukkha nivritti, the total annihilation of all sorrows, Paramananda Praptischa, and attainment of supreme bliss. If you see carefully here, in the previous verse he said Paramanandam Apsyasi. Here he says Atyantika Dukkha Samsara Nashaha Bhavati. So he is telling that self-knowledge will give liberation, moksha. What is moksha? Total destruction of all sorrows of samsara, of course, and attainment of supreme bliss. And how is that self-knowledge born? By Vedanta Artha Vichara. So the path is very clear. You inquire into the essential teaching of Vedanta, you will gain self-knowledge. When you gain self-knowledge, you will get liberated. This is the path. Inquiry leads to self-knowledge, self-knowledge leads to liberation. Okay. Which means what? Not by any other means. Earlier also it was said, you remember? Swami. I always had this problem with text like Vivek Chudamani, big text. Now 45th verse we are in, I have forgotten earlier something was there. So many verses Shankaracharya had taken to make us understand that it is not possible by any other means. Even if you do lot of chanting and puja and vratas and tapas, isn't it? Remember? All that he had said, verse number 4, 5, etc. if you see. It's not possible by that. The only way is what? Vichara. Tatah vichara kartavya. Atah vichara kartavya. Jidnyasu. Atmavastunah vichara kartavya. By the jidnyasu, the inquiry should be undertaken. Ato vichara kartavya. Remember? So therefore, this vichara will lead to self-knowledge. Self-knowledge will lead to liberation. That's the connection. Now, question is what? But how to undertake vichara? How to undertake vichara? Next verse. Let us see that also, because it is in one flow. We will see that also and then we will stop. Verse 46. Shraddha bhakti dhyana yogan mumukshoh.
Shraddha bhakti dhyana yogan mumuksho.
Mukter hetun vakti sakshat shruter gihi. Shruter gihi. Yo va ete shveva tishthatyamushya. Moksho vidya kalpitat deha bandhat. Shraddha bhakti dhyana yogan mumukshoh. Mukter hetun vakti sakshat shruter gihi. Yo va ete shveva tishthatyamushya. Moksho vidya kalpitat deha bandhat. Shraddha bhakti dhyana yogat. Mumukshoho muktehe hetuhu sakshat shrutehe gihi vakti. Shrutehe gihi. The words of the Shruti. Shruti is Veda. Shruter gihi. Gi, Girvan. Girvan means speech. The words of the Shruti is Vakti. They speak. They speak of what? Muktehe hetu. Hetun. The hetu. Hetu means causes. Muktehe hetun vakti. They speak of the causes of mukti. Causes of mukti here is not in plural in that way, but steps are there. Therefore, it is plural is used. Mumukshoho, for the person who is seeking liberation. So, for the mumukshu, mukte hetu, what causes liberation? That is said by the Shruti itself. So, I am not telling you something on my own. So, remember, Guru is trying to explain that tene yenaiva yata yatayosya param tameva margam tava nirdishami. I am showing you the same path which many seekers have trodden before. So, he says the cause for liberation, the way to liberate is given by the Shruti itself. What is the way? Shraddha bhakti dhyana yogat. Where Shruti has said is, this is a famous quote from Kaivalya Upanishad. Kaivalya Upanishad, one of the Upanishads, very beautiful Upanishad. Sometime we should study. There it is said Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga Davaihi. One should do Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogat. What is the meaning of that? We will come to that. But Sakshat Shruti, the Veda itself, the Upanishads themselves are giving you the path to liberation. Yahava eteshu eva tishtati. One who eteshu eva tishtati, stays in this alone. Stays in this alone means what? Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga. What path is given by the Shruti? One who becomes established in that, amushya. Amushya means for such a person, moksha happens. Moksha, amushya. That person who is established in this path gets liberated. Liberated from what? Avidya kalpitat deha bandhat. Deha bandhat, from the bondage of deha, body. Caused by what? Avidya. Avidya is ignorance. Avidya kalpitat. That which is caused by the ignorance, that bondage of identification with the body, moksha. One gets liberated. How? By remaining established in this path. What is the path? Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana Yoga. Okay, two ways to understand this Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana Yoga. What is that? One, you can say yoga, union with Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana. You can say like that. Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga. By being united with Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana, you will be able to reach the moksha. Or you can say Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana and Yoga. By this, you will be able to reach the state of liberation. What is this Shraddha? Shraddha means astikya buddhi. Earlier also we have seen. Shastrasya guru vakyasya satya buddhyavadharana sa Shraddha kathita sadbhi yaya vastu labhyate. In this text only we have seen. Correct? So Shraddha means faith. Faith in the teaching of the Shastras and of the Guru. Faith. Bhakti. Bhakti means what? This also we have seen earlier. But here Bhakti doesn't mean that goal Bhakti. Here Bhakti means what? That devotion, that dedication. The path of Bhakti. Path. And third is called Dhyana. Dhyana means what? Dhyana means, technical definition you also note down and then we will see the meaning. Dhyana means Vijatiya Pratyaya Tiraskritya Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha. Vijatiya of different nature. Pratyaya thoughts. Tiraskritya giving up different thoughts. Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha. Single flow of similar thoughts is called as Dhyana. Sometimes it is also called as contemplation. Contemplation. Dhyana. And yoga means what? Fourth point, yoga means union. Yuj, it comes from root yuj. Yuj means to unite. Yoga means becoming one with. Becoming one with what? With that Supreme Brahman. So through this path of Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana and Yoga, one reaches moksha. What is this path of Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga? This is the path of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana and Samadhi. How? Shraddha is required for Shravana. Earlier also we have seen. If you want, Shravana means listening. Listening to the knowledge of Vedanta. Vedanta artha vicharena jayate jnanam uttamam was said in the previous verse, isn't it? That when you reflect on the teaching of the Vedanta, self-knowledge will be born. So first stage of that is what? Listen to the knowledge. When will the listening be complete? When you listen with faith. While listening only you are saying, how is it possible? Not possible. Then you will not get any knowledge. So Shraddha indicates Shravana. Bhakti indicates Manana. Manana means reflection. Now whatever you have heard, you start reflecting on it. You make that knowledge yours. When you are listening to the teacher, it is teacher's knowledge. When you reflect on it, it becomes your knowledge. So second stage is manana. And then you have listened and you have reflected on it. Now you allow that knowledge to settle in your heart so that you will feel that knowledge. That is called the stage of nididhyasana. Dhyana, what is called here as dhyana. Dhyana and nididhyasana are same only. Nididhyasana means continuously remaining in that thought so that that thought becomes your nature. And the culmination of this contemplation is what? Meditation, yoga. Yoga means you nirvikalpa samadhi, you become one with that Parabrahma, with that Supreme Brahman. So through this path, you will be able to attain liberation. Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogan Mumukshoho Muktehe Hetun Vakti Sakshat Shrutergi. Sakshat Shruti is giving us the path. Yova eteshu eva tishtati amusha moksha avidya kalpita dehavanda. One who becomes established in this path is liberated from the bondage of identification with the body caused by ignorance. Therefore, what you must do, O student, follow this path of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana and Samadhi. Listen, reflect, contemplate, meditate. Right? This is the path I have given you in short. Now, in the next verse, the Guru gives the entire teaching in essence. That we will see in the next session. Alright, chalo, we'll continue. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.